everyone and welcome back to my channel. I apologize for my voice. I'm feeling a little ill today, which is why it sounds a little scratchy, but I am so excited about this video. I finally have a new DIY video for you guys. I'm going to be showing you 3 different DIY organization, desk decoration type things. And then at the end of this video, I'm also going to be sharing a few study tips for you guys. If you guys want a whole video dedicated just to study tips and getting ready for midterms and finals, please let me know down in the comment section and by liking this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the DIYs. For this first DIY, all you're going to need is a post-it block and some metallic gold spray paint. I just went ahead and stuck my post-its inside this box, and then you want to put something heavy on top of it. I just put my little Mod Podge container, and then you're going to go ahead and spray the sides of your post-it block, and that's pretty much it for this DIY. It's so simple, but it adds such a cool look to your post-its. I'm seriously obsessed with the way this came out. When you're finished, you're just going to have to peel off the top about 3 post-its, because that's what the paint will be on, and then you're going to have a super clean line, and I just think this makes it look super elegant and really cool and sort of goes with the whole theme that I was going for on my desk. I just really love the way that this came out, and it was so easy to do. It seriously took 30 seconds. For this next DIY, you're going to need a hot glue gun, a jar, I'm using this mason jar, and an old CD that you don't care about. So you're going to go ahead and use your scissors and just start cutting the CD. You want to be very careful when you're doing this because obviously you could hurt yourself doing this. I just went very slowly and I obviously didn't hurt myself. It's pretty easy to do. You just want to create a variety of shapes and sizes of shapes. That way you can create a really cool texture on the jar. A little tip, if you want to make it easier to cut the CD, then you're going to soak it in boiling water for 5 minutes. That's what I did, and it made it so much easier to cut. The longer you boil it, the longer or the easier it's going to be to cut, but 5 minutes seemed to do the trick for me. You don't want to get too soft and mushy because then it's going to be sort of hard to work with. And once you're finished, you should have a pile that looks something like this. And then you're going to want to go ahead and sort your pieces into sizes. So I did large, medium, and small. And the reason that we're doing this is because you're going to want to make sure that everywhere has an even amount. So after that, I said there are 4 sides of the jar, so I'm going to need to organize it into 4 different groups. So I did 4 big pieces and then just started putting even numbers of the rest of the tiles into each pile. That way you can make sure that each side of the jar is going to have an equal amount of tile to cover it. You don't want one side to end up looking super full and awesome and then you run out of tile and the other side looks stupid. So I thought that that was the best way to go about doing that. And then all you have to do is take your hot glue gun and start gluing the pieces on. Be careful because the hot glue does heat up the tiles, so you have to be a little bit careful. You can burn yourself, but you don't have to put hot glue all over the entire tile, so it makes it a little bit easier. I'm hunting, looking for a comer. This is freaking awesome. You just want to randomly place the pieces and then turn your jar over to the next side and repeat this process until your entire jar is covered with the tiles. I am obsessed with the way this looks. I love how the back of the CD sort of has that rainbow thing going for it, so when the light hits it, you get all of these cool rainbow colors. And this is the finished look. I think it looks amazing with, as I mentioned, the rainbow and then also all the colorful Sharpies inside add a really cool colorful pop to the jar. For this last DIY, you're going to need some old CD cases, some pictures sized to 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters, and once again, a hot glue gun. So you're going to start with 1 CD case, and then you're going to take another CD case and pile it on top. You'll see where it sort of fits in. And then what you're going to do is attach them together with some hot glue. So I just added some hot glue to the 4 corners of the CD case. Obviously there's a little indent where the CD would go, so the 2 cases aren't going to touch there. There's no point in putting glue there. So the 4 corners seem to do the trick for me. Then you're just going to set that aside to dry, and in the meantime we're going to set up our third case, which will be the middle part of our letter organizer. And all you're going to do is take whatever Instagram photo you want and stick it in there. That way if you stood it up on its side, the picture would be going in the right direction. You'll see in a second what I mean, but you're just going to put the picture in there and close up the case, and you can see how it's on its side but the picture is going the right way. And then you want to attach that to this CD case contraption we've made so far. So I'm just taking a little bit of hot glue and adding it to that center piece and sticking the case on there, and you're going to need to hold it there until the glue starts to dry, and then you can let it go. Probably for about 30 seconds you need to hold it. And then I just added some extra glue along the bottom there to make sure that it was definitely going to stay really well. As for the two sides of the case, you just need to put a little dollop of glue where the case sort of folds open. That way this part is going to stand up straight. Once again, you're going to need to hold it for about 30 seconds and be very careful because it needs longer than 30 seconds to fully dry, but you need to hold it for about 30 seconds. I let the whole thing dry for 5 minutes after this just to make sure everything was super secure. And then you can go ahead and add in your other two pictures into the cases. If you're having a little issue like I was with it staying, you can put a little piece of tape on there, or you could use glue, whatever works for you. I just thought tape would be easiest. And that's it. It's seriously so easy once you get the contraption put together, and then you can just stick whatever letters you want in there. I love that you can switch out the pictures and it's super customizable. Here's how I ended up setting up my desk. I think that it looks so cute with all of these adorable DIYs. I also included my memories jar and my notebook, and I just love how bright and colorful everything is. I think the gold on the post-it looks beautiful. I love the mosaic feel that this jar gives to my desk, and it pulls in the silver from that little fortune cookie I have. And then of course I have my notebook and the letter holder. And that's it for the DIY portion of this video, so now we are going to get on to a few quick study tips. These are all pretty general things and really easy to do. As I mentioned, if you want a whole video dedicated just to study tips, make sure to let me know down in the comment section. So my first study tip, and one of my absolute go-to tips, is to study in 20 to 30 minute increments. I know this sounds a little weird because you think that you should just study, but when you're doing that, you're overloading your brain. You need a little break to let things process and set in. And what I like to do is study for about 20 to 30 minutes, take a quick, maybe 10-minute break, get something to drink, relax, listen to a favorite song or two, and then go back and quickly skim over all of the things that you just reviewed in that last 20 to 30 minute block before moving on to your next subject. That way you can make sure that all the stuff is still fresh in your brain and sort of still in there without just being thrown away during that little break that you're going to give yourself. I always find this is super helpful when it comes to remembering things. If I just push through, I'm going to go into overload. It's going to feel like cramming even if I'm giving myself lots of time, and I won't remember it as well as if I take it in small chunks and let the information really process in my brain. My next study tip is when you're working in those 20 to 30 minute blocks, look at something on the page, remember it in your mind, and write it down on a different piece of paper without looking back at the other page. This is going to really help with your recall. If you are writing something, not only is it proven that writing something can help you remember it, handwriting it, not just typing it, but handwriting it, but also if you're looking at it, memorizing it, and then writing it down, and then going back and forth and looking to make sure that you got the information correct, it's going to make a huge difference when it comes to recalling it when you go to write it down on a test. It's sort of going to be that memory recall thing also, from remembering and writing at home, and then remembering and writing when you're at school doing your test. The last thing I'm going to share with you is a little tip on how you can do better before your test, and that is getting a good night's sleep. I know this can be really hard. People stay up late cramming, which you shouldn't do because cramming doesn't really work that well. You're staying up late on the internet, you're catching up on your television shows. I get it, I'm always up late. But getting a good night's sleep before a big test is so important. They say that children in elementary school need 8 to 10 hours to perform well, whereas people who are our age, like more in the high school, college range, are going to need 10 plus hours to perform well on a test, which I know seems impossible. Shoot for that as 8 hours, but if you can get to bed another 30 minutes or hour early, it's just going to make all the difference in feeling refreshed and actually getting your brain working in the morning. So those are just 3 really simple tips when it comes to getting ready for your test. I hope that you found them helpful, and I hope that you tried out the DIYs. If you did, don't forget to tweet me a picture with the hashtag DIYwithPXB. That way I can find you and follow you and tweet you and retweet you, and we can be best friends. While we're on the subject of Twitter, make sure that you're following me on Twitter, and make sure that you're following me on all my other social media also. I'm super addicted to Snapchat right now. I always post outfit of the days and outfit of the nights and pretty much what I'm doing. And also, speaking of what I'm doing, make sure that you are subscribed to my vlog channel as well. I upload almost daily vlogs on there. Pretty much whenever I'm doing something interesting, a vlog will be up on there. So make sure that you are subscribed to that. But if you want a little sneak peek of what the daily vlogs will be, make sure that you add me on Snapchat. That way you can see what I'm doing throughout my day. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!